Well, it's finally official. Head coach for the last 16 years, Mack Brown, has stepped down as University of Texas head coach. This whole season, I said back after the Ole Miss game, that was when I really got on board with it's time to move on. It's time for someone else to take the reins at UT. But I've never been apologetic with the fact that I'm one of the biggest Mack Brown supporters, which is why I felt like after Ole Miss, that's when it really hit me that it's just got to change at this point. And I made the point in that video. I said Mack needs to step down because if it keeps going like this in Austin and across the state here in Texas, people here are going to start to resent him for holding the program back. They're remembering him for bringing the program back. Back in 1990, when he came in, the year before with Makovic, we won like 3 ball games. And when he got back here, he brought that Darrell K. Royal standard back to Texas. And the way he did it, we were winning 10 games a year for 9 years straight, I believe. At least 10 games a year. The Rose Bowl in 2004. And you can kind of even see the change in the mindset of Texas fans, even myself. When we went to the Rose Bowl in 2004, when we beat Michigan in the Rose Bowl, that was massive. That was huge. That was a great step for Texas. And the next season, of course, you win the national championship against USC. That has become the expectation here. And in 2008, now, of course, there were circumstances that dictated why we felt this way. But in 2008, when Texas had to go to the Fiesta Bowl, another BCS game, and play Ohio State, it was a letdown. And of course, 2009 happened, went to the championship, lost to Alabama, and ever since then, it's really kind of unraveled here in Austin. Or in Texas. I'm not in Austin right now. But this video, I really want to talk about Mack and what he did for this the university and the way he needs to be remembered. And here's the thing. I know this whole process, especially this last couple of weeks since the Baylor game, has not been the brightest moments for Texas, and hadn't been the brightest moments for Mack Brown either. I know, I'm aware of the backroom discussion rumors that have gone on, the rumors of sticking around too long, of submarining some coaching hires that we could have had. I understand that, and just going on the coaching stuff. I was really frustrated when the whole Nick Saban thing came across because, and I told this to all my other Longhorn alums, and I talked about this. I said, more than likely Nick Saban's not coming to Texas. Percentage-wise, more than likely he's not going to come. But that kept getting louder and louder. It was just this talk in Austin that became talk in Texas. And then it became a national discussion, Nick Saban to Texas. Well, of course, now we know that he's not coming to Texas. And I told them this before this came down. I said, I hate this because this is going to get thrown back in our face. Even though the Texas fan base is not the one really pushing this, though some are, because this media attention to Nick Saban has gotten so big, when it doesn't happen, you got your Alabama fans, your Aggie fans, that sort of throwing that back at Texas feet. But that's just kind of how that conversation works. But with everything, the problems I've had, with the way Mack has handled a lot of this stuff here in the last part of the season, I wanted to wait till today. I just got done watching his press conference here today. And of all the frustration we've had with Mack Brown this year, the way the team has played, the way the coaching stuff has been handled, you can't deny he's probably the best spokesperson for a college head coach. The guy is masterful on the microphone. He is a politician, and the thing about it, the University of Texas, it is the most political head coaching position in the country. You have to deal with a lot of politics in Austin. And Texas is a very political state in general, so of course it's going to creep in our sports as well. But when you listen to him talk, you understand why he had such a great recruiting run. You understand why people wanted to come play for him. He has a way about him that's very inviting, that lets you know that he's going to take care of everything. And he did, and he addressed the fans too. He addressed the fans and the alumni base that I'm a part of. That there's been a lot of negative pushback. I'm not a booing guy. I don't boo the coaches. I don't boo the players. Those are my guys. But there's a lot of people in the stands who did. He addressed them, said he didn't blame them. That's what he said today. At least that's what he's saying publicly. Is he didn't blame the coaches because we won 8 ball games, and the standard here is you got to win them all, or at least lose one or nothing. You got to be in the national picture, and we haven't been for 4 years. So it's time to move on. And I really want to thank, like I said, putting aside all these last weeks or whatever, who knows what's been going on, the political stances, the hard stances Mack has made between Bill Powers, De Los Dodds, and now Steve Patterson. All that stuff aside, the University of Texas is a better place, and the program is a better program because Mack Brown came in and took over the reins for 16 years. There were hiccups up and down. There was problems with beating Oklahoma. There are championships left on the table. But without Mack Brown, the University of Texas is nowhere close to what it is right now and the expectations it has right now. And right now it's in a slump, but it's still in a better place than he left it, than he found it. So to Coach Mack Brown, I say thank you to what he's done. And moving on, he's going to have a career in television. He'll work at the university in some capacity. He can pretty much do anything. If you listen to the guy enough, like I said, if you're a Texas fan, you already hear a lot of Mack Brown press conferences, and he has his own problems but when he's just modeling, when he's just talking, he can win over a room, and that's just kind of how he's been. So, but he has been a great coach for us. Brought a lot of great things to Texas. People say the whole Vince Young, without Vince Young, well, he brought Vince Young to Texas, and whether you stone palm him or not, he made the decision to keep Colt McCoy as a starting quarterback during that time. Some mistakes were made, but overall, as I said, the University of Texas is a better place because Mack Brown was head coach there. When it comes to who's the next head coach, I generally have no idea. I don't know anybody who I can't throw any names right now. I'm partial to a David Shaw, but a lot of the coaching candidates in the college ranks have already signed long-term deals. NFL-wise, I'm not even going to go down that pipe dream. So, but David Shaw was always been my guy. I don't know if he'd leave Stanford, but I'm going to throw that out there. He's definitely a candidate for the gig, and I think he's a good enough guy to get the job done. But hook 'em horns, Texas fight. We got to play Oregon. We'll talk about that later, but today's about Mack Brown and him stepping down as head coach after 16 seasons. Been a lot of contentious stuff at Texas, but I'm trying to keep the big picture look at this. And the big picture, Mack, it's been a great spot for Texas. Hook 'em horns, and thanks, Coach.